Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the iFox with Juice podcast. I'm your host, Juice, and I'm here with my co-host, Rain. What's going on, Rain?
Dude, nothing much. It's been a while, it seems like. That's what it feels like anyways.
It's only been a week, and my apologies for that. That was on my end. I had to do some stuff with family, so I had to be away. So that's why we didn't do the show last week. So full disclosure there. Sorry for missing out on last week's fight and all that, but we're back, and to honor our country and the election and everything else that's been going on, and since we're on a video conference call right now, I will be endlessly interrupting, and I will also be occasionally jacking off while Rain is talking.
That shit's funny. So was it when it was actually released? Because I haven't seen the video yet.
Me
So
neither.
when the video, oh, okay. I was gonna ask you, like, did they well, they had to blur it out, but did people?
Yeah, I don't know if you can
see his
it
piece?
like that, unedited. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about how impressive he may or may not be. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
still just surprised that this dude in like his 50s is still jerking it. Just can't wait. Literally. If you guys know what we're talking about, Zoom Dick / Jeffrey Toobin, some media member that was on some Zoom call and decided to whip his dick out and jerk off in front of everybody, quote unquote, unknowingly. That is something that happened this week.
I mean, I guess like younger days, I've heard of guys jerking off in the bathroom during work hours and shit, but I guess that's the new version of this, right? Because this is how work is now. Like you have to take calls behind a desk, you know what I mean, in front of your laptops. Yeah, I guess that is a new version of it. I just put it all together, okay? Because I was thinking like this dude must have like a weird fetish. Well, I've heard of guys doing that.
Sometimes you just got to crank one out. I mean,
yeah,
you know, spectators be damned. Clearly not giving any kind of fucks, but to be fair to the guy, I don't know this guy. He may be a terrible person. He may be a great guy. I don't know anything about him up until this week, but we still have people insistent months in about going to the store without a mask on and trying to fight some 17-year-old fucking cashier over this shit just because you don't give a fuck. It's like, yeah, people already are making, these Karens fucking making all fuss and all this. Like, people don't give a fuck, man. So why should you? Yeah. I don't even blame the guy.
Fuck it, man.
Like, I don't know if you saw this thing. This going a lot on YouTube. Kind of went viral. Bill Burr's monologue from SNL.
Oh, I missed it.
It was great, but he was talking to, because there was actually people in the crowd, which I was surprised because New York and all that. But I guess everyone had a mask, and he's like, "Yeah, this weird. I feel like I'm doing comedy in front of a bunch of surgeons, everybody with their mask on." And he said, "I'm a fan of masks. I'm happy. I'm glad you guys are doing it. I'm glad when I see people in the store doing it. Listen to the smart people. Listen to the people you copied off of in high school. And again, if you don't want to wear a mask, if you don't like wearing them, that's fine too. If you want to kill your grandma, that's cool. If you want to take out your little weak cousin with an asthma, fuck it. We have too many people anyway. Let fucking thin the herd."
Wasn't he ripping on white women too?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they got mad. And you know me, I come to the defense of white women all the time, but nah, he made some good points here.
Shit, I missed it. Okay, I'm gonna have to look it up later.
Yeah, I won't ruin it for you since you haven't seen it, but yeah, he was basically saying about how did they hijack like the identity politics woke movement? Like they basically had it better than everybody except white men. So how are they like the biggest victims in all this shit? So yeah, it was like very like Chappelle-esque of like his critique of white women and shit. Like, make some good points. He's like, you were there for all the atrocities. You just, all of a sudden you want to make a big deal about it now.
That shit's funny.
But they were mad.
That shit is funny. Well, are we gonna get pulled off the air pretty soon due to inactivity like Leon Edwards though?
Wow. Wow. Good one. Good one. A way to get an MMA, right? We're gonna try and keep with the regular format. It's gonna be a little bit different since we didn't do a show and we didn't um preview any of the fights last week or anything. But yeah, right. I think this is a good way to get into it because I don't know how newsworthy this is. It's fucking Leon Edwards.
God damn. That sucks, man. Like, Connor doesn't get taken off, but this dude does? I mean, he's legit up there. He's number 3.
Connor fought this year, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was a while there where he didn't, right? In Leon's case, it's like he couldn't at one point, right? Because of COVID. He couldn't come over.
Yeah, he got fucked over on that one. It wasn't like I guess technically he chose not to fight, but I mean, what kind of a choice was it? Like, the shit had just started and he was gonna fly. Like, no, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it was early on. Like, nobody knew what the fuck to do, and yeah. What? And now they're like removing him. And I guess that's the UFC's doing. It's the UFC.
I read a headline, did not read the article, and obviously you got to take this with a grain of salt whenever the UFC, Dana or anybody at the UFC says something. But apparently that was because he had refused some fights, I think with Covington and I think Jeff Neal, some like top welterweight guys.
Wonder Boy, I think was in the mix.
There was that rumor, and then I think probably Chimaev now too. That's what a lot of people online seem to be talking about. So, yeah, if you're refusing fights, I get it. But yeah, that was the thing. Is like, dude, I don't really get the big deal because it doesn't undo his win streak. He's inactive, sure, but with one win, he's the guy.
Right.
UFC wants to give him that, but Tony Ferguson took, when he fought Kevin Lee, I think it was 10 fights? And he's way more exciting than Leon Edwards, and it took him 10 fights to get a title shot. And that was an interim title shot. Like, it's not just because he's boring, man. Like, this shit just happens.
That sucks, man. Edwards, you need to talk to Hannah Cyphers. See what her secret
right?
Like, how the hell? Like, I love her. I'm not trying to talk shit, but
no, exactly.
Like, she's keeping her job. What about you? Damn, dude, he's getting like the Woodley treatment or something. Be difficult.
To be difficult. To further this point too, exactly like you said, Hannah Cyphers is keeping her job regardless of her win/losing streak. And, obviously she wants to get back on the horse. She wants to win. So Leon Edwards can teach her how to win. And Hannah Cyphers can teach him how to stay relevant and be a fan favorite.
Huh. Be a company man.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, man.
That sucks for him, though. Dude.
Yeah. I really just don't feel that bad. Because again, like he'll be back. Like, as long as he fights, he'll be back.
Yeah, it's just why should he go backwards though? Like, I mean, I understand his point. Why should he go backwards or take this fight that's risky? Because there's so much there's still congestion at the top, like still waiting, and it's not his fault because of COVID and things that happen. Masvidal stepping in and Usman not fighting, Gilbert now, and that's been postponed, and it's not his
exactly.
fault.
So it's backed everything else up even more now.
Yeah, all kinds of shit is happening. Him. Yes, and he's just like, what the fuck? I didn't do shit. I'm just standing here. I've been waiting.
I will say, though, I think another reason why I don't have an issue with it is because I think you should – I'm very strict regarding rankings. I'm old school. If you've tested positive for any kind of PED and if you haven't been active in a year, automatically off. I don't give a shit if you're number 1 contender or number 15. You're gone. Whether it's because of injury or because you don't want to take fights. Like, if you haven't fought in a year, you're out. Man, woman, bantamweight, heavyweight, I don't give a shit the division. Yeah, I mean, he's had an impressive win streak and all that, but them's the rules. I mean, they just
Damn,
made it up on the fly, but them's the rules.
seriously.
They should have had these rules forever. I mean, we all
Yeah.
know what bullshit the UFC rankings are, anyways. That's why I'm just like, at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. It
Someone
is
made,
bullshit, but at the same time, like they use that for leverage too. Like, bitch, I'm number 3. Like I should be next in line. Like, check it out. Fans agree too. I should be at number 3. Like I should be the next one. They use it for leverage, even though it's bullshit. It's being used, from both angles, like from a fan's perspective, and then just as a fighter negotiating or doing what they need to do to get more money. It's there, but yeah, with him, it's like being taken away from him because of COVID. It sucks.
people,
It sucks, man. Like, what the fuck?
Leon Edwards, you're not the only one getting their job taken away because of COVID, and you're not even getting your job taken away. You're basically taking a pay cut, homie. That's basically what you're doing. And honestly, you're probably still gonna get your pay when you fight back. So again, I'm not feeling bad for him. Steve, I don't know his handle, but Steve K MMA, as I know him on Twitter, made a really good point. He's a women's MMA aficionado like myself, and he made a good point. He said that he's been screaming for like a year that why is Nina Ansaroff still in the rankings? Yeah, she hasn't fought since last year, since June of last year. I understand she had a baby and all that, but why is she still in the rankings? It's a
Yeah,
good point.
it is. I mean, we talked about JJ. She was inactive for a while.
Yep.
There's so many others.
I guess only recently had Tatiana Suarez been taken off the rankings too. So it's like,
Yeah, that
yeah,
was another one. Hello, like Leon's case, it's not entirely his fault.
yeah, but fuck him.
God damn, he's a
You know,
he's a new Woodley now. Poor guy.
you know what? If it wasn't for that fucking stupid backlash that I got on Twitter because I made a Leon Edwards joke and someone had to make it about fucking woke politics, I'm going all in on Leon Edwards. Fuck that guy, man.
We were fans of him. There's nothing bad about that, right? Like we were fans of him, and we knew that he wasn't as popular. He's popular across the pond. I mean, you're being legit with it. You weren't really clowning him in that tweet either.
Yeah, it was an observation. It wasn't even, yeah, exactly. I wasn't even clowning him. And someone had to go, what protest have you been at, bro? And he's actually well loved over here. And that was like in the midst of the summer rising up. So yeah, I kind of forgive those people, but still, fuck you. Fuck Leon Edwards. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. I wonder if he's gonna ask for his release and just be like, fuck yeah, I'll go to Bellator or something. At least they're having like fights over here.
Dude, this is entertainment, man. Like people just need to get over it. We've been saying this for a long time. I say it louder than you because I'm always like the ones that just don't take this shit too seriously. We're going to talk about a lot of serious subjects today, but that's the whole point. There's serious shit to be covered. Most of the time, it's not even in the cage. I don't care about Leon's little made up number. I just don't. He'll be back, and that'll be that. Yeah, sometimes they're just going to force you to play ball. I was going to go on a big rant about this, but I guess just because it's relevant, I'll bring it up right now. Michael Chandler, I know people are excited about him coming in. I am as well. You know, he's serving as backup for KG and/or Khabib right now. But Dana himself said, like, someone asked him, like, why now? Why did you bring him in? Because he wants to fight. Which, to be fair to Dana, is not a bad reason. During this time, yeah, you want to get people that want to fight. But it's also a way to disincentivize fighters from asking for pay raises and for certain concessions. This is very strategic. This isn't just insurance. This is strategic. This is what Dana's always loved. That's why he loves Cowboy. That's why he loved Ronda. That's why he loves those people, because he said jump and they'd say how high. It seems like Chandler's going down that route. Maybe when he wins the belt, if he wins the belt, he'll be more quote unquote diva-esque. But there's a reason behind that. Like, Dana's not that dumb. He plays the part sometimes, but he knows what he's doing. And Leon Edwards wasn't playing ball. They're made up rankings, but they can make it matter when they want.
Yeah. Well, and in Chandler's case too, I mean, he's a good-looking guy. He's marketable. They already like posted a picture of UFC Twitter page of him just like sitting on the bench with sunglasses on, like a fucking like a modeling photo. They're using him. Of course they're gonna use him. Why wouldn't they?
Because they can't use Luke Rockhold.
Dude, that ship has sailed. Can't use him anymore. So they gotta use Chandler.
You gotta throw the whole Rockhold away now. The video comes up about asking about spitting or swallowing, and it just ruined him, huh?
Yeah, I'm like, fuck that guy, that kid.
He was just asking a question. Why you get all bent out of shape about? Can't answer.
I wasn't bent out of shape. I've met guys like that. I know guys like that. I totally get it, man. But it's just that's why you didn't get pussy. That's all. Say less. Say less.
Using that evil vagina as leverage. That's fucked up.
Oh man. Say less. But yeah, Chandler though, yeah, I didn't think nothing of him before. But as soon as I saw that photo, I was like, damn, he's hot, man. he might bring some females over if he plays its cards right and gets the belt or gets in front of whoever the champion is. They're gonna market the shit out of him. They're gonna do that. The machine's gonna be so behind him.
I don't know if you're behind him or want to be in front of him, Rain, but I hear some support now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if it's against like Justin Gaethje, that would be interesting too because his wrestling coach. I don't know if you saw that. That guy's hot. That guy was good looking.
Who's wrestling coach?
Justin Gaethje's.
Oh, I don't know if I caught that one. No.
Yeah. But anyways, going all over the place.
Anyways,
that's what I. Well, yeah, that's what I noticed this week. A lot of hotness already.
Maybe because you've been offline for a bit and you just.
That and I had like a sour taste in my mouth, like not literally, but like, God, no game.
Yeah, man.
Dudes with no game. Anyways.
That's a thing now. 2020. Dude, step your game up, man. Twitter DMs have made it way too easy. I know. Shit, I got my lady off of DMs, but I fucking tried, man. I put an A+ effort.
Dude,
I ain't got much to work with, man. Game is all I can do, and I'm not even good at that, but fuck, I got something out of it.
Oh, anyways, yeah. I don't even know if I should get into it. Like, hey, let's get to know each other. Yeah, we'll have babies, and I want a boy. What? What? It wasn't even like 6 hours. I think it was like less than 4 hours. Cause I was at the gym when this whole thing fucking happened. Like right before my eyes, like got a number and everything. It's like 0 to 100. Like what? Maybe that's why I noticed. I'm like, oh, Justin's wrestling coach is hot. Oh, look at Chandler. They're using. Oh, I didn't notice how hot he was. Okay.
You got options, Reen.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know if I want to anymore.
It's all right.
I don't want to meet those guys that act like females that are just like, oh, instantly I'm marrying this person. We don't even know that person.
I've seen women online that are like that too.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Oh my God, we're gonna get way too personal in a minute. So yeah, we should get into like the real MMA talk before it devolves into something else. There's MMA and boxing that we're gonna cover because there was quite a big boxing fight last week. So let's get into the semi rewind. So there's the Cyborg fight that happened last week. There's Lomachenko and Lopez and the UFC card. What do you want to start with, Reen, since we didn't preview or talk about any of this last week?
I guess we could just start with Chris's fight because that was the Thursday night fight. Okay. I guess that's what Bellator is going to do from now on. They're going to have like Thursday night fights, which is cool. Everything's like kind of spread out now.
Yeah, right. You don't have to, I have to switch back and no UFC this weekend. Oh, yeah, I get you.
And just, having it a long day, a long fucking Saturday.
Jesus, it's longer than a work day. Like you'd be getting paid overtime if you were working.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. So, yeah, I did see that fight. I was tweeting about it even before because I got hit up in the DM, say, hey, promote this, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay. So I was like tweeting stuff and whatever Chris was sending out. I was trying to retweet that and just be supportive. But man, it was a clinic. I mean, she was very
It's
patient and yeah,
yeah.
it just seemed like a sparring match almost.
It's the best she's looked in a while, and she looked really good in the Julia Budd fight. Granted, Julia Budd is a way higher caliber opponent than Blanco, and I like Blanco. She's a good fighter. But I mean, her first submission in her career, right?
Yeah, her first one, and
That's
I
wild
guess
because she's a brown belt, and she has been for a long time.
right, and I guess she went back to her roots. She went to Rafael Cordero's gym and just wanted to start all over again, basically. Just refresh everything after her loss to Amanda. So I think that helped with just calming everything down because it got to a point where she had like Halle Berry in her
Yeah.
locker room, Clarissa Shields, and she did have a lot of distractions going into the Amanda fight. So, I mean, this was kind of really cool to see her back at that gym. And then also just helping out Sabina Mazo too, and kind of sparking that relationship with her. So, yeah, it was a clinic, man. I mean, she's so patient now. She's matured so much. She's not that destroyer, you know. So it was a good one. I mean, I'm pretty sure she could have just finished it in the first round if it was like the old Chris, right?
Yeah,
Just
she took her time. Yeah.
yeah, it's cool, man. I enjoyed it.
Can she go? Maybe they don't train at the same times, or maybe they're at different corners of the gym. But can she go and regulate on Kelvin Gastelum
I
on
know,
a mission for gold? Huh, Kelvin?
that
Mexican
video of him.
Mexicans are hardworking. Yeah, this is what they're doing when you're out of the house. People, oh, they're cleaning the pool. They're doing yard work. No, they're playing lucha libre. That's what they're doing.
I was dying when I saw him. They like panned to him, and I'm like, oh my god, Kelvin. Oh no, you're eating again, aren't you, mijo? Like, he look in shape to you? Because he didn't look in shape to me.
He's been bigger. He wasn't out of shape. He's been way bigger than that. But yeah, he definitely wasn't in shape.
Yeah,
That's what you're saying, man. And
he's changed with him.
Montserrat Ruiz was there too. She's a real Mexican, man. I mean, just look at her name, Montserrat, and she was there just going along with this bullshit. It was just like, oh god, just
Oh man, talk to Chris and her nutrition expert, Kelvin.
does she have a nutrition expert? Because I would just see her cry whenever she was cutting weight
I
sometimes.
I think so. Yeah, she gets all her like food taken
Yeah,
care
because
of and everything. She's getting paid out. She doesn't have to like struggle as much like she used to.
well, yeah, with George Lockhart at the helm.
Yeah. So
I hope nobody uses that guy anymore. I don't. That was like a big thing. I remember him and Dolce were the guys like, wow, nobody ever seems to talk about nutrition now. I wonder if it's because the UFC PI, like they're
it's
getting shit more
possible.
under control. But as
Yeah.
long as they're not using those fucking guys, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So did you actually see the fight too?
Cyborg,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's what I was saying. Like it was a clinic. Like that's what I was saying. I don't know if it's more impressive. This is more impressive than the Bud fight because
Hmm.
Bud is a. I mean, yeah, it took her 4 rounds, but Bud's a higher caliber opponent. But yeah, just seeing how technical she was, but yet still aggressive, and got the submission. Like it was great. It was an A+ performance.
I don't know who she's gonna fight next. They're talking about boxing and Katie Taylor. That was on the board.
Jesus, I will have mad props. There's plenty of girls that Taylor can fight, but if somehow that happens, that is definitely a money fight for both of them. And holy shit, for Chris to go and fight Urena Bars in Muay Thai in her second fight, and to fight Katie Taylor in boxing, damn, you gotta respect her, regardless
Yeah.
of the outcome. You gotta respect her because Jesus Christ, that's some real fearless shit right there.
Yeah. And she went over to Bellator for a reason. She wanted to work with Scott because these are the things she wants to do. She wants to go into boxing. She wants to challenge herself. So I think it's gonna happen. One day it's gonna happen. Not this year, but possibly next year. If she fights again and then maybe a boxing match.
I would like to say that, Eddie Hearn is Katie Taylor's promoter. I would like to say that Eddie Hearn is too literally buttoned up and English and proper to put on a quote unquote freak show fight like that. But he also has KSI versus Logan Paul. So I'm pretty sure he's open to an MMA fighter fighting a boxer.
Yeah. Oh, I think so. I think he knows like there's potential to make a lot of money right there.
For sure.
I mean, especially now, like you need to set yourself up because you just never know what's gonna come down the pipeline.
Matchroom Boxing and DAZN are suffering. So yeah, you don't want to leave any money on the table for sure.
So that's that.
Speaking of boxing, though, I guess as a good segue, we should just get into Lomachenko and Lopez. That happened on Saturday night. That was my fight of the weekend. That was the one that I was like looking most forward to. And Jesus Christ, I thought it might be close. I thought it'd be entertaining. It wasn't a shutout. It was competitive, but not in the way that I expected.
Yeah. I appreciated this fight after the UFC main. I was waiting for this to start, and goddamn, was I entertained. I was like glued to the fucking screen. Because I'm not really into boxing like you are, but just watching the highlights beforehand and whatnot, and how you were getting excited, and I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And fuck, man, wow, it was amazing. Lopez was just hitting him with the body shot, like he was just getting, he was reaching, he was getting through, and just his movement overall, like just, I don't know if Loma, that was his plan to start late, but that was way too late, or it's just Lopez just showing like all these different angles.
It's all of the above. That's like, it seems like that's been a big debate in the boxing circles this week. Is did Loma shit the bed and just throw the fight away by not doing anything, or was Lopez that good? And it's both. And part of the reason why Loma didn't really do anything is because he was startled. He was, I don't want to say scared. I don't want to say he was unprepared. He just probably wasn't thinking that Lopez would actually try and box with him because he hadn't really shown it, not in that way. He's a good counterpuncher. He has power. He has defense. It's not like he was just this wild brawler, but he relied on his power, and it was very obvious. A lot of his wins were first, second, third round knockouts. So I think he thought, like, let him gas himself out the first 2-3 rounds. I'll pick it up eventually, but then he kept going to the body, and then, that shit hurts. That shit gasses you. By the time you want to step on the gas, like, oh shit, you're just like delayed. I think the reason why Lomachenko ended up doing as good in the 6th and 7th rounds is because Teofimo ended up getting a little bit tired because he was doing a lot of work. And then he kind of got back into his rhythm. So I love Lomachenko. He might be my at least second favorite boxer, if not my favorite boxer right now. And I didn't want to see him lose. I like Lopez too, but he's a cocky little shit, so I didn't want him to win. But it's good. It's good this happened. Lomachenko's one of the best boxers we've ever seen, ever. I don't care how old you are, how young you are. He's that good. He is that talented. He still is. But it's important to see that he's beatable, that a youngster figured him. I don't want to say figured him out, because if the rematch were to happen next month, I still think Lomachenko has more than a fair chance to beat him. But what I really love, that was really two things that I always talk about when you're facing a guy of such stature that, they have so much respect. You got to hit him, and you got to hit him right away. That's why Chael Sonnen was so successful against Anderson Silva. Chris Weidman, too, against Anderson Silva. And Alexander Gustafsson with John Jones. You look at all these examples in MMA. When you take it to them right away, they have to respect you. And that's what Lopez did. And going to the body is smart because Lomachenko's footwork is so good. Going to the body is a much easier target. And one thing that he did that was unbelievable, and I don't know if he trained this or he just felt it in the moment and started doing it, at certain points, because he knew that Lomachenko was caught off guard, he would start to mirror his movement. Because Lomachenko didn't really get his good angles and his footwork going like he usually does. But when he'd try and do something kind of fancy, Lomachenko would like shadow him. It was like everything that Lomachenko would do, he would do as well, and it would throw him off guard because anytime Lomachenko moves, guys just get hypnotized, and Teofimo wasn't having it, and that showed me how smart he is and how game he is, and I think that probably as much as the body shots is what helped him win is that he had a certain mentality, definitely confident, but also had the tactics to beat him. He figured it out. He's very well trained and he's very very smart. He has all the ingredients that Aldana did not have against Holly Holm.
Damn. Fuck, man. Why I gotta shit on the Mexican, the white Mexican?
Because I just shit on Kelvin Gastelum. And,
you're like, you're on a roll tonight.
yeah, I couldn't just keep on going with technical analysis and all that. It always has to come back with the racism somehow.
That's just so funny.
And I was only shitting on Montserrat Ruiz earlier. I actually like that girl. I've been checking out her IG. I dig that girl. She's fucking crazy. I love her. But yeah, you need to keep Kelvin in check. You're a real Mexican. You need to tell him to get his ass to work. You should be ashamed of him. Oh, I know how Mexicans are. You lazy Americans. You don't even work. You need to get on his ass, man.
Oh shit. Well, that Lopez fight, that Loma fight was awesome. Goddamn, Loma's gear was fucking dope as fuck, but he lost. Venom. So. Yeah, Venom, and then the Matrix outfit, like the coding, like just dripping, just like the Matrix, on his shorts.
He's always had that fly gear, but yeah, he always rocks Venom too, which I think he may be the only boxer I've seen because boxing isn't like MMA where the commission or the promotion gives you gloves. Like you bring your own gloves.
Yeah.
And he's the only one that I've seen that like wears Venom, at least on like a big scale that I can think of.
Fitted big time. So hopefully Lopez will get that too, because I think he was griping about that during his conference. Like, I don't get any sponsors. Maybe they'll hit me up now or some shit. So.
Yeah, that boy's got a big chip on his shoulder, and you know what? When I was younger, shit like that would bother me because I'm like, what's your big deal, man? But hey, I've realized that when people are like that, they usually have a very interesting backstory. And here's one thing that I didn't know until the fight started, like in the buildup. Did you see that Teofimo learned to box from YouTube?
Yeah, some crazy shit, right?
That's ridiculous. I mean, like, okay, we know the story of John Jones. Well, and John Jones learned. I mean, John Jones and Max Holloway are incredible fighters, and yeah, some of the best to ever do it. But MMA is in its infancy. Boxing's been around forever, and fucking Lomachenko was literally bred to box. His dad, he took up boxing when he was a baby. Took him out to learn dancing so he could get his footwork better for boxing, and then he comes back to boxing and is possibly the greatest amateur fighter to ever compete. And definitely a great pro fighter. And you have this young kid who just learned to box from YouTube, and he's a fucking phenom. I don't know if I've ever seen this in boxing because YouTube is such a current phenomenon, in the long scheme of things. Like, it's so new. I don't think many boxers learn to, most boxers go to the neighborhood boxing gym to like stay out of trouble. That's always the story. And he learns it from YouTube, and fucking, I mean, how well did he learn,
Shit. Grew up on it. Yeah, grew up on YouTube, so.
Yeah, at his age, for sure. You and I got it when we were adults, essentially, and he learned from it, and yeah, he got obsessed, clearly.
Downloaded it, watched hours and hours of footage.
Yeah. I'm still pissy, man. Not just because I like Lomachenko, but Lomachenko's close to my age. This little kid took him out. Fuck that guy.
Well, I'm glad that fight happened and it was entertaining because the main event of the UFC, yeah, that hurt my feelings big time.
It hurt your feelings, but am I going to have to do all the legwork here?
I mean, if you have to, if you must, because...
Yeah. It's not that I must. Well, I probably do have to because I don't know. You couldn't give Holly Holm respect for putting on the best performance in 5 years. So why do I think you're gonna give Brian Ortega respect for beating the shit out of Korean Zombie?
I mean, earlier before we got on, I was thinking like, yeah, maybe I should just give him his due because you know what? He did look good. He looked fucking
Ob-
phenomenal.
Objectively, he looked
Yeah.
good.
Like holy shit, like who the hell are you? You know, you really did do like you did change.
Yeah, he turned into a skinhead. Gives you superpowers,
Literally,
apparently.
literally, like what the fuck? And yeah, that completely like surprised me. I thought it was gonna be more competitive than that, and it wasn't. It was not competitive at all. I mean, it was all over when the Korean Zombie got elbowed. That spinning elbow that he took.
That Brandon Royval elbow, I think it should be called now. I think he just did it like 2 weeks ago, and look at it now.
Yeah, like I guess from that blow, like he can't even remember the rest of the rounds.
That makes sense.
So, like, fuck, dude. Like, fuck, man. I'm like, all right. Like, he whooped his ass. Okay, it's a good fight for Brian. But yeah, it was tough to watch for me. It hurt my feelings.
You know what? Props to you because Holly Holm is just like a weird itch that you just she's like the scab on the top of your mouth. Like it should be able to heal, but you can't stop fucking putting your tongue on it. I feel like that's what Holly Holm is to you. At least with Brian, I'm not gonna put you on blast, but at least it's somewhat personal. So I get the beef there. But for you to still give him respect, props to you.
Just
Now, if you can just give some some respect to the white lady, we can be all good and we wouldn't have any problems, you and Irene.
she's been at this since she was a kid.
Lomachenko's been at this since he was a kid too, and he just got his ass beat by a younger kid from YouTube videos.
Damn, white people step up. Let's just common denominator here.
Well, I could say Asian step up. What the fuck's up with your boy, huh?
Damn it, man. I know, right?
Yeah.
Fucked up shit.
Stones,
that's not my Asian though, but you know.
Yeah. The K rage, as Choi calls it.
I know, right? Like, what happened to the Hong or whatever? Like, the rage there. Your boy got slapped up. Jay Park got slapped up, going, to take a piss, and like, in your honor, he got slapped up and didn't even get that revenge.
Is Korean Zombie gonna be allowed to go to Mama's house when he gets back to Korea?
I don't think so, man.
That's always what it's about at the end of the day, right?
Yep.
Fuck if you win or lose, can you go back to Mom's house?
Yep. No bulgogi for you. No kimchi.
Well, there's a kimchi shortage right now. I don't know if you've seen that.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, actually, I maybe. Oh man, you might have to go to the store like right now. Huh? We're gonna have to cut this fucking podcast short.
Yeah, because I am kind of short on my. I'd go get some anyways.
There's like some kind of cabbage shortage, I think, in Korea.
Oh shit!
And yeah, it's fucking shit up.
They can make kimchi out of whatever they got anyway, so it's probably fucking just American propaganda trying to push bullshit, clickbait.
Oh, you tell me.
It's not just cabbage that they can, make kimchi with anyways.
So. I read this on like Yahoo Finance or something. It was like on the it was, and there tend to be whatever the source was. It seemed reliable.
Yeah, well they'll figure something out. They got fish, they got meat, they got carrots. They can fucking make anything.
I'll send you links and you can shovel through this if you want. You tell me.
Okay.
And but no confirmation bias. You can't just be like, oh, it's all bullshit because they're American and I want my kimchi. You gotta accept the facts for what they are.
No, but seriously, they got other kimchi. It's not just cabbage.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if it was like a processing issue or if it's just in a region of Korea or if it's worldwide. I didn't look enough into it, but I did catch that. I was gonna send it to you, but I got distracted.
Shit, TKZ better go fucking go work in the farm or something. After that loss.
Shit, his gym might, Jay Park may have to, he might get in contact with like Kim Jong-un or something. They might fucking kidnap his ass, send him to the fucking re-education camps.
He brought dishonor.
Yeah, dishonor. Yeah, that's
dishonor to the land.
Mm-hmm. They don't fuck around, man.
Yep.
But to talk about some real violence, is there any woman like on earth that Jessica Andrade can't fuck up?
Jeez. I thought the size difference would be a factor, and it was for a moment there until she got on the inside. and she fucked her up. She fucked up, Chikubian. Damn, like how? Like, can she continue like this? Just that size difference, the height difference? Damn, she's gonna be like Lineker.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter. She's just there to fuck you up.
Right? She's just gonna be a destroyer like Lineker.
Katlyn Chookagian is also like, for all her faults, she's pretty good at using range. So it basically only took a few shots for her to just get exposed, and then, man, those goddamn body shots. Obviously, we know that Andrade has knockout power with her fists and with her slams, but to the body, it wasn't just that she was in pain and took a knee and fucking fell down. She turned her back to her and ran away.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this to shit on Chookagian at all. That's just what happened. That's fucking nuts. That's some power right there, man. And it wasn't even to the liver. It was just like the solar plexus gut area. Like, I don't even think she hit her flush, but that's how hard she hits.
That's maybe the second time I've seen that happen, where the girl just turned around and said, "Fuck this, I can't."
I remember Calderwood and and that was a straight kick to the belly.
Yeah, so damn. Jessica's scary, man. And she's right up there again. She has an opportunity. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, Lauren Murphy's fighting this weekend, and I guess she was pissed about where she got in the rankings. So shit, maybe that's next. Because Lauren Murphy's fighting fucking nobody right now too. We're not even gonna cover this fight because Cynthia Calvillo dropped out, and so she can't fight her. So she had to fight this newcomer. So I don't know. I don't know if Lauren Murphy's gonna be next off of a win off a newcomer, and then God forbid she loses. Then at that point, who the fuck knows what happens? But yeah, if she loses, Andrade may be the number one contender after Maya.
Yeah. Interesting. It just got interesting. But that size difference. Who knows what's gonna happen though? Goddamn Lineker.
Yeah, I think one of our episodes a few years back, we were talking about how Lineker and her. I know she's gay, so this wouldn't be a thing. But how amazing would it be to get their DNA so they can make babies? You know,
seriously,
hard-headed super soldier babies.
God,
and short as hell, but just stocky as all shit.
Maybe he could donate. They could.
If Jessica ever wants to have a kid, right? Like Jair Bolsonaro's got to move some parts, and it's like, nope. Well, that's the thing though. He hates gays, so that's gonna be a problem. Yeah.
But it's a future champion, possible future champion.
I know for the sake of the nation, do it right. But nah, his hatred of gays is gonna overtake that son of a bitch.
Damn it.
Do it for your country, man.
Asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
Selfish asshole.
Got to make some sacrifices, man.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. One last thing about the fights, and I know we talked off air. You didn't catch it, but I did need to make a comment about your boy Krause, James Krause, man. I may love him as much as you do now. I may not want to sleep with him as bad as you do, but man, that dude's super impressive.
Again, he did it, right? Short notice.
Was it short notice? Well, this guy. I don't quite remember. Possibly with Fight Island and COVID, everything gets fucked up. But I do know one thing: he fought this dude. He fought a brilliant fight, and he did it on one leg.
Savage. He's amazing. Megan Anderson, you are so lucky.
Is this where the hatred stems from, Rain?
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. Telling on myself. Bitch hasn't blocked me yet.
Me either.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, she likes to block people all the time. Block happy. As soon as you talk shit or don't agree or something, block.
Blocked our girl Ash, man. Ash is pretty fucking mellow too. Well, she's been a little bit more savage lately, but she's been very mellow up until probably until COVID era. I think COVID made Ashley a bit more of an asshole, but I dig it. Shout out to Ashley, the MMA nerd. But yeah, well, I met Megan, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's why she hasn't blocked me yet. But anyway, yeah, James Krause, man, put on a clinic against I don't even remember dude's name, but that dude was just swanging, and Krause was just using basic boxing to just box the shit out of him. It was beautiful. It was like what I expected Lomachenko to do to Lopez, and I was like, oh, this is what should have happened. And then I got kind of pissed because I'm like, fuck, it's not what happened. But anyway, you live and you learn. So that does it for the fights that happened. So let's get into a preview of the fights that are gonna happen. UFC 254 is happening this weekend. Some pretty good fights. The card was better a few weeks ago, but again, COVID Fight Island fuck shit up. Still a 6-fight main card. There's really good fights on the main card. 2 prelims that I want to get into. One, Miranda Maverick is making her UFC debut against Liana Jojua. I've seen Liana Jojua fight before, and I honestly forget her fights. I just know her as the pretty girl. Everyone's always talking about how hot she is whenever she fights. I know she's talented. I know Miranda Maverick very, very well. Followed her since like the beginning in Invicta. And if you guys don't know who she is, you should really keep an eye out for her because this fight should be very good. And Miranda Maverick's a very well-rounded, very impressive young lady. So you guys should catch this one. This one should be fun. I don't know enough to make a prediction, so I just wanted to throw that one out there. Be on the lookout for that one. But to get into like the actual preview, one of the prelim fights we wanted to cover, Casey Kenny's fighting Nathaniel Wood. Oh man, I don't even know if we covered this when it was first announced, but when I saw it, when I was looking at the card, I saw this and I was like, damn, this should be a banger.
Dude, he just fought. He fought like earlier in the month.
Yeah, October 3rd. So by the time they fight, 3 weeks?
Jeez, man. Well, good for him. He said he wanted to fight again, right? At Fight Island, I think. I think that's what he said.
Well, yeah, October 3rd. That was the home Aldana card.
And he put on a clinic with that one. Shit. Big time. Dominated the fight. 3 rounds. Couldn't put him away for some reason. Because he's a fucking, like, goddamn zombie. Kept moving forward. Taking all kinds of shots. But yeah, he was like, yeah, I want to fight again. And here's this opportunity with Wood. Nathaniel Wood. Fucking crazy, man. I don't know how this fight's going to go. But it should be good.
Yeah, I love this fight because it's one of those 50-50 fights and they're both closely matched. I love that they're both young. They're both prospects. I always love those fights. And it's interesting with Kenny because Kenny's had an interesting lead up. Like I remember Ray Bork, I think it was his first fight in the UFC, and a lot of people thought he should have lost that fight and he won. So he wasn't exactly on fans' especially with how much love Borg gets most of the time. They weren't fond of him. Then he kept winning. And he's here now. He's obviously to be respected. He was a former LFA champ, if I remember correctly. And then Nathaniel Wood looked like a world beater, ran into John Dodson, got knocked out. And he rebounded in his last fight against John Castaneda a few months ago. So now it's interesting, like, who's the real deal? You know, Kenny... obviously his fights haven't been flukes, but this is a really good guy. Can he get past them? And then with Wood, yeah, he lost to John Dodson. He rebounded, but can he get the momentum going again? I'm going to go with Kenny only because I think Kenny has that gamesmanship that like he'll take it. He'll go to hell and back to win. And what I saw from Nathaniel Wood in the John Dodson fight, like who knows if he's has that spirit. I still have my doubts.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say like Kenny's is on that roller coaster ride, right? He's tasted like, a win in Fight Island. Like he gets this another opportunity again. So he has that momentum going. So I think I'm just gonna stick with Kenny. Because he had such a dominant performance. Like how could you not, perform like that again?
That's also a good point, right? Kind of like Khamzat Chimaev fighting what, like 2 weeks after his debut and all that. Yeah, momentum
Yeah.
is for real. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
Can't
So
discount it. Okay, so we're gonna jump into the main card. This is a fight I don't really want to cover,
I
but
know.
the fact that how stupid it was the first
Oh
time,
man.
all the shit that happened, like just for shits and giggles, let's do it. And I believe it's the main
Yeah.
card opener too. Magomed Ankalaev and Jan Kudalaba, the rematch. As of now that we're recording this on Thursday night, is still set to be happening. It's been canceled two
Oh,
or three times now. The first fight, this is how crazy that I was looking at dates and I realized this fight happened before COVID, and it feels like it happened 6 years ago.
oh Jesus, really?
This happened at the end of February, right before COVID hit. Well, at least here in
Oh
this.
God.
Yeah. So there was fans in attendance for this one. Remember those things, fans?
It's been rebooked at least 3 times, and here we are.
I think they both got COVID, right?
Yeah, it was ridiculous that it was stopped early. It is what it is.
Jan's an asshole, as his assholery cost him here.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's gonna lose again, honestly.
I don't think there's any way that Jan doesn't come out like a bat out of hell. I think Ankalaev's prepared for that, and I think he can meet him with force and handle it. But Kudalaba still got power. I don't think this is gonna go past the round. Like, I know the first one didn't go past the round, but that was weird circumstances. I think it will be like a legit first round KO. I'm just not sure who.
Yeah, I think Kuto was just gonna run into something. It'll probably end early. It's not gonna go 3 rounds.
No, hell no.
Yeah.
We shouldn't want it to.
No,
Either.
it doesn't matter, right?
It's gonna be just a shit show.
Yeah.
Especially with how hard Jan gasses out.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll go with Ankalaev just for shits and giggles. Just for the same reason we covered it, for the shits and giggles, I'll say Ankalaev.
Yeah. This will be a good time for a break or something and get some food before the rest of the card starts.
See, I disagree there because I think some crazy shit might happen. Or really stupid, funny shit.
Another incident?
Possibly.
You never know, right? Especially when there's no crowd this time. You get to hear everything.
Yeah, right. I mean, I don't think either of them speak English, but yeah, it might be interesting regardless.
Oh Lord. Fucking bigger cage too.
That's right. Yeah, I think the first one was because I think it was like in a smaller arena, so I think it was a 25-footer.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I'll watch a shit show. I won't take a break.
Full disclosure, I'm actually not going to be able to watch these fights because I'm working this weekend, so I'll probably catch the main event and probably nothing else. But I actually probably will go back and watch this one. We covered it, so I kind of have to, but I feel like I actually might enjoy it. Why, I don't know. I feel I might. It's just a hunch. Next up, Alexander Volkov is fighting Walt Harris. I did not even know Walt Harris is fighting again. It's been, 6 months? 5 months since Walt Harris lost to Overeem. So that was a bit of a beatdown. I'm glad he took some time off. And then obviously the issues with that he came back from just to get in that fight. I been watching Embeddeds, which I rarely do. I actually watched him this week. He looks to be in really good spirits. He looks very jovial. He looks very friendly, making, cracking jokes, and he looks like he's having a fun time. Now, you might want to pause there because maybe he's having too good of a time and he should be a little bit more nervous. Obviously, we're just going off of little clips and a few videos. I don't think anyone is still forgotten about that or jumped off the Walt Harris train. I think we all want him to succeed still. And Volkov recently got wrestle fucked to death by Curtis Blades.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
And Walt Harris is a star athlete, but I don't think he possesses that type of wrestling skill. And Volkov's a very good striker. Looking at all the pieces at play, I feel that Volkov should be the obvious winner, but I can't go with that, man. My heart's got to take it here, man. I got to go for Walt.
I know, right? just rooting for him to get a win. That's all I want, especially after what he went through. I want to feel good story with this one.
And to be fair, too, obviously he was going through a lot in that Overeem fight, and he lost that fight. But I think that fight can teach him something too, because shit, we learned something that day. Overeem has heart too.
Yeah.
Which I did not think ever, not one time ever in his 20-year career did I think that Overeem had a heart. We saw in that fight he did. We learned that. He definitely learned that. I think it'll show, I can't say, oh, he shouldn't get emotional, but how could he not get emotional during that fight, But hopefully now that he's gotten that out of his system, he'll be a little bit more chill. He'll see things coming. He doesn't have to rush everything, and then he can get the job done against Volkov. Hopefully that Overeem loss is the best thing that happened to him. There is that possibility, but Volkov is still a really legit striker, so it's hard to see at the moment, but you never know. Sometimes the switch just flips and people get it.
Yeah, well, I'm still gonna mark out and go with Harris.
Yeah, same. We're allowed. I think much like the Just Bleed show, we kind of go with a Mark-ass pick of the week most weeks. Yeah. So I think that's our Mark-ass pick of the week there. So yeah, no shame there. I definitely don't have any. Next up, the co-main event, Robert Whittaker and Jared Cannonier. Oh my God. I gotta assume Whittaker is the favorite, right?
Banger. I think it's even now. Let me double check. I think it's fairly even, I thought.
I think given that he's a former champion, how good he looked against Till.
Yeah.
The fact that one real big issue that we can't overlook is ring rust, because Cannonier hasn't fought in over a year.
Right.
Whittaker just fought. It was a hard fight, but he didn't seem to get real hurt, so I think he'll be good. But
yeah,
Cannonier, you cannot overlook that man.
Like Izzy said, he's a dark horse of the division, and yeah, he proved that. I mean, he's been inactive, but he's proven that before, so. But yeah, they are near even. Yep.
Okay, I marked out big for Harris. I kind of went on a hunch for Kenny. So I guess I got to play fair here a little bit. I love Cannonier. I love Whittaker too. I don't know if I like one guy more than the other. But I think given the ring rust and I don't know, like watching the embeddeds and the countdown as well, Whittaker looks really happy. He looks really like he found himself again. I guess he was kind of having that issue with being champion. Like he didn't want to be there anymore. He's getting tired of everyone having a target on his back. So I think he kind of, obviously he didn't throw the fight away against Izzy, but that shit gets to you. You're fighting to not win. I'm sorry, you're fighting to not lose as opposed to win. I think that's what was happening to him, at least in that fight. And he looked real good against Till. I think he's loving it again. Cannonier's so dangerous, and I think he can knock out anyone, but I think Whittaker might take care of him. I think he can do it.
Okay, I'm gonna go opposite. I just feel like Whittaker might get knocked the fuck out.
It's a real close fight, and it's a very real possibility. I want to go with that outcome just because I like Cannonier so much. I want some new blood in the division. I mean, I'm not gonna be mad at Whittaker Adesanya too, but I'd much prefer Cannonier and Adesanya. But I just have a feeling it's just gonna be one of those things like not this time, not today.
Yeah, I just feel like this is such a bad fight for him.
For Whittaker?
It's gonna be a rough one, a really rough one. And I know he went how many rounds with Romero? 10.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cannonier, Jesus, that's a different animal, man.
It's those stones.
Yeah.
Have you seen this? Did you watch any of the embeds?
So, actually, some of it. I did. Yeah.
He's one of those crystal dudes.
Yeah, I did see him like lay all that out. Yep. He had like Tiger's Eye and all this other stuff.
Yeah, that's all news to me. I don't know what any of that shit is. But
Yeah.
I do find it kind of it's stupid, but still kind of symbolic. He has all these stones,
Yep.
and that's what you get on your belt when you win the belt. You get the stones, so maybe it has something to do with that too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so spiritual now. I don't know. That might carry him. Who knows how his mind is, how his mindset is now.
I just find it so funny because Cannonier is a very, very odd individual for sure. And he's his own person. That's what I love about him. He doesn't give a fuck what anyone thinks, and that's cool. I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just weird because the crystal people are always like the most fake douchebaggy people I've ever seen. They're basically the type of people that would go to a tarot reader. I've never had a good opinion of people who believe in the crystals. But Cannonier is like legit. Like really
right.
believes in it, and I'm like, all right, cool, whatever floats your boat.
Interesting fight though. Fuck.
I'm not gonna be mad regardless. Like I said, I like Whitaker, so if he wins, I'm happy because I like him. But I just want new blood in division, so I think Cannonier could do it. But looking at the actual evidence, I'm gonna go with Whitaker here.
Yeah, I just don't want Whitaker to get hurt too bad. That's all. Okay.
Why do you care?
Bro.
You got Michael Chandler now.
Yeah, no,
Apparently.
Whitaker, he plays too much. He plays on Xbox or whatever too much.
Oh really? Is he like DJ? Is he like a big time gamer nerd?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess he does that a lot. He has a PC though, I think. But good for him if he like makes money off of it. I think that's what he's doing. Yeah. Yep, that's like his like I think they talked about it on like the breakdown or whatever, the embedded. Like that's what he does to get away. He plays games.
Well, that's cool. At least he's not running into pregnant girls.
True that, right?
He
Or
might.
hiding under the cage to avoid Wasada or whoever.
Hey, you know what they'll do to you if they catch you with weed?
That shit's so funny. He fucking admitted it.
He ran out of a car because he had weed in it. He hid under a cage for hours for weed. John Jones may have a marijuana problem. That's all I'm saying.
He has a weed problem. Oh no. You're that weak.
Straight up, I don't have copyrights to all this shit. I wish I, had big money so I could just play random clip. This show would take fucking forever, even longer than it already takes to do all this shit. But I can just play the half-baked clip right now of Dave Chappelle at rehab. You in here because of marijuana? Marijuana. That's straight up, man. Like that's exactly how to beat John Jones. You're rich. You got kids. You have everything in life handed to you. But no, throw it all away for weed.
Yep. Just can't do it. Can't do it without weed. Can't do it without smoking.
Marijuana's not addictive.
Right? He can't function without weed. Shit's funny.
God. Yeah.
He admitted it. Well, that shit was funny.
Fucking moron.
Oh God.
In an attempt to own Izzy too, like you fucking idiot.
Right?
Jesus Christ.
And
That's
then
the truth, bro. That's the truth. Shut the fuck up.
Lush Sucks, the guy that does all the paintings. I think that's his handle. All the graffiti, the graffiti art, the street art. I guess he made that picture of him. The one that he's like half naked. John Jones is like half naked and putting clothes on the right next to the cage. I think he was sitting on a tire or something. He duplicated that on the wall.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah. Yep. After Izzy and him went at it, yeah, this artist put it on the wall. I think it's the same wall where like he had spray painted Izzy too, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. Yeah, I thought that
The spray paint, is that the one where he's got like the purple eyes and like the fire and shit? He looks like a superhero.
I think so, with the Naruto, that that little bandana thing. from the anime.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that. I think when he fought Whitaker, I think that I saw like the mural or something.
yeah, it's that same dude, but he did one of John Jones.
I
Oh
swear to God, right
gosh.
now, Reen, I'm like have my eyes at a 45-degree. I can't even look at the floor. I'm not looking at my screen. I'm just looking down at my desk, like just spacing out
Is
the
this your king?
idiocy that is Jonathan Dwight Jones.
Right? Is
Jesus
this your
fucking Christ.
king? What the fuck?
No, Kelvin Gaslam's my king.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So you say because you're racist. It's because he looks like me. He's my king, apparently. Shit, at
Oh
this point,
man.
and I'm still a fat fuck. I may eat better than Calvin Gaslam, man, and I may not be joking about that.
Well, at least you're taking care of yourself. He's not. He has a terrible mother too. Just kidding. She's probably a fine lady. I'm sorry. Just wants to feed her boy, that's all.
Mexicans can get terrible with the way they feed. It can be borderline child abuse at times. You're not completely wrong. We got to stop them. It's on the children to stop the mothers instead of the other way around. Anyway, main event time. Justin Gaethje and Khabib Nurmagomedov fighting for the lightweight title. The fight that we didn't want, but the fight we deserve. Again, I'm not going to watch these fights live, so I can't get super psyched about them. But I think ever since Gaethje beat Ferguson, this was probably the fight I was most excited for.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. You know what? I want Khabib to win, so he could just, fulfill whatever plan he had with his dad, and just, walk off into the sunset and, you know, be at the top of his game and just close this year out, especially with what he's gone through. That's what I want, but I don't think it's going to happen just because of how Justin just beat the shit out of Tony Ferguson. He has all that power. He has fun with it. He's a fucking crazy motherfucker. He's just a dangerous guy. And he's focusing on wrestling now. Well, he's always had that, but he's like focusing on that because of who is, his opponent is. Yeah, I think it's going to be a rough night. Shit. I don't know, man. I just feel like Khabib isn't gonna walk out of there on top.
Do you think it's because of how impressive Gage's looked, or you think because of his dad, he's not going to be all there? I know there's elements of both, but if you had to pick one, what do you think will lay more heavy?
Just how Gaethje looked. I mean, earlier when I was thinking about it, I didn't think about his father at all. Because why would he be there? Because he could have walked away, right? If it was really affecting him that bad, then I think he would have walked away earlier. He could have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
nobody would have
mentioned
sent.
that when he first got sick, that you didn't even think he was going to come back ever.
Right. I didn't think he was going to. Now that he's here, it's like, oh, it's game time, but I don't think he's gonna walk away with it. Even though he's there, he's ready, game time, this is it. This is what my dad wanted me to do. It's just Justin, I just feel like he's that much better.
Eh,
He's gonna keep coming and coming, and there's just nothing that I don't think Khabib can do, really.
There's two things of this that I find very interesting. One is, I don't like to go too much into the psychological standpoint, although it is important and you shouldn't overlook it. Obviously, there's Khabib's dad's factor. And to be honest, from what I've seen, he looks it's hard because he's Russian. He's not like he's exactly smiling all the time. He's a hard man. But his demeanor does look a bit different. I feel like he looks a bit off, and I don't think I'm saying that just because I like Gagey and I want him to win. Like I feel like he's a lot more serious than he is even in usual fights. And the other factor with Khabib is that in his UFC career, his dad had never been in his corner up until the last fight with Poirier. And that was big. And you got to imagine Khabib probably thought, like, this might be a thing from now on. Like, my dad in my corner, that'd be great. And then tragedy struck. So, and then it's in the same arena, basically. I mean, same same spot, maybe not arena, but same spot. So you gotta consider that too. Gaethje, I think, is very interesting on the psychological front because he keeps saying, "I'm expecting to lose, and I shouldn't even be here." He says he tells himself that every day, and I know that doesn't sound very convincing, but I get it, man. If I was him, I'd probably tell myself the same thing. What do you have to lose? You weren't even supposed to be here in the first place. He was actually, I would never say that Justin Gage is scared because I don't think he's scared of anything. But if you hear him like on Joe Rogan's podcast and how much he talked about the Ferguson fight, he was pretty fucking nervous. And I don't know if he's ever felt that way in a fight because he was like, he knows what an animal Tony Ferguson was and that he had his work cut out for him because as tough as Gage is and as tireless as he is, he knew like, I might get tired in this fight, and he didn't. So to overcome somebody like Ferguson in that manner, a lot of people thought he did the impossible with that. I don't see how he can't do it with Khabib either.
Yeah. Now I'm getting excited. Remember earlier I was like, I don't even know. It doesn't even feel like, it's fight week. It's not really exciting for me. Now I'm getting excited. Now that we're talking about it.
Like I was just talking about the psychoanalytical side of it, but when you look at the actual fight, Khabib makes everybody look average, if not mediocre, regardless of their wrestling credentials. Nobody can stop his takedowns, and I don't think anybody really has. Even if they do, they don't look impressive, and he'll find a way to get you down eventually. But Cage is gonna do everything in his power. Like he's not gonna go out like that. I mean, shit, the boy does fucking rolling thunder kicks and front flip kicks and flying knees up the wazoo and his fucking leg kicks, and I think he's gonna fight more like he did with Ferguson because yeah, if it's not broke, why fix it? He did that good against Ferguson. It can translate very well to Khabib, but he can go back to wild brawling pre Eddie Alvarez Gagey, and I think that can serve him well too. I've heard many respected analysts say for a long time they think Justin Gagey was a really bad matchup for Conor and Khabib, but if they had to bet money, that he's more likely to beat Khabib than Conor. And I've always kind of agreed with that too. I've been saying this for years, so now the moment comes. I should say that this is like a marking out pick because I'm a big fan of Gagey, but I really think he can do it. I really do, and I think it's gonna be all him. Yeah, even if Khabib's not all mentally there, he may or may not be. I know he'll definitely be motivated. He still wants to honor his father's legacy, but he's fighting a madman, and there's not many people that can face Khabib where you look at the other guy and be like, "Oh yeah, that motherfucker's crazy." Because it's always Khabib who's the crazier one.
Yeah, exactly. Levels to this, and yep.
And he's doing this for his mama too. Speaking of
Yeah,
parent angle, Jesus Christ, man, gotta respect the guy.
retirement. So his
Yeah,
mama can retire, so
they're
there's
fucking minors from Arizona, man. Again, Arizona white people, and his mom's Mexican, so Arizona Mexicans are something else too. Like fuck, man. How can you not be inspired by that? Oh yeah, but he's a Trump supporter. Sorry, fuck that guy. Yeah, sorry about that. Can't overlook that fact. He's only taking on a guy who's homies with Ramzan Kadyrov, but yeah, gotta go with Khabib because he's a Trump supporter. I had to fucking throw that in there because I still can't believe that was the thing happening. It's probably a thing happening online right now. I haven't checked, but the fact that you would go with a man who's friends with a genocidal maniac over some dude who supports Trump, Jesus Christ, man, you guys got your orders all fucked up.
crazy shit. I think somebody was having a discussion about that. Like, I mean, what's their relationship really like? Like Khabib, is he doing it to protect his family, or I mean,
His relationship with Kadyrov?
yeah,
Yeah, who knows, right? I mean, it's so tough to tell in that part of the world. I mean, it's so foreign to us.
yep. So who knows what's happening there?
Yeah. So you got Gagey in this for sure then.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Then I think this fight will surprise people. I think shit, honestly, if Khabib takes him down and just stifles him for 5 rounds, that would be kind of surprising to me. I know that's like the most expected outcome, but even that would be surprising to me because Gagey just does not seem that type to just give in. So that would be, it could be the most boring fight of all time, and I would still be impressed because like, damn, he actually did it. Because no one's been able to. People have tried to wrestle Gagey. It's not like they haven't, but no one's had success. So it's Khabib's time. The people that have beat Gagey has been with striking. We know Khabib ain't doing that. So let's see what happens. So that does it for the preview of UFC 254. Let's get into some headlines. Okay, so there's no real easy way to get into this. The first couple stories here are pretty intense. And I'll let you start off with this one, Rena, because I know it's something that you've been wanting to talk about, something that we talked about off air a bit. This story with Mike Perry's ex-wife. I didn't even know they were married, but Danielle, aka Platinum Princess, aka Diamond D, she came out and revealed some stuff that had happened to her. A police call that his mother had made one night. She detailed what happened that night. I don't want to say what were your feelings on it because anyone that heard that had to be just pure disgust. But just what are your thoughts?
I mean, it's just really sad that she finally was able to tell her story, because we heard about this maybe a month or 2 months ago. She was looking for somebody to talk to. I think she like tapped Ariel Helwani, but MMA Junkie, I forgot the gentleman's name that interviewed her, that he landed it, and they had all kinds of evidence and audio, and they did a really good job of getting her story out. And during all this time, there was incidents where Mike Perry had some issues, right, outside of Danielle. February, that's what happened to her. In July, there was video of him in some old man's face, and he was drinking at that time as well. So I just don't understand like why Danielle is getting all this backlash from MMA Twitter or his fans or whomever. I'm not going to say like evidence or whatever, but there's data out there. There's information out there that this is a pattern with Perry. So I don't understand why she's getting all this hate. Like, she wasn't trying to push any of her accounts. She changed her name. She didn't even mention that she even changed her name. It was in the article that Platinum Princess name was given to her, but she didn't say any of that. She was just really like, to me, it sounded like she was just trying to get him some help. But at the same time, that relationship's over. I don't think nothing of him, but I hope that this helps other people too. Just come out with their story if it is happening. I hope it's not, but who knows with brain trauma, CT, and whatever. I mean, there's only one other person maybe that there was an issue, like BJ Penn. Maybe this year or last year. It was recent, but he's been at it for so long. But with her, it's like she's only 27, I believe. They've been together for what? Or dated or together for 5 years. So she was 22 years old when they first met and, got together, fell in love, and she went through some shit with him. So it's like, there's that factor too. Like, why would you stay? You didn't see all the signs, this and that. Like, you don't really know unless you're part of that. He might be saying all the right things and she believed him, right? Because she loved him, or, she's seen him grow up basically, because they're still young. She's still young too. So yeah, that's what bothered me the most. Like, just seeing all the comments, I'm like, what the fuck? What are we doing? Why are we attacking this girl? Did you even like listen to the audio? Did you even listen to the audio of the mother calling for help? And you can like hear like his car, screeching across the lawn or whatever. I think that's what she described, but you can hear the car, and it's like, you still want to attack this girl. So yeah, that really just fucking bothered me when I like first like came across it. I think it was like what, Tuesday or Wednesday. I was just like going off on DMs and shit. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I keep forgetting that there's so many bad people in the world, but yeah, that's what makes it hard for people to really talk about it. because of the backlash, because people won't believe them. Like just like, women that get raped. People won't believe it because yeah, there are people that make made up stories or whatever, but in her case it's like there's a pattern there. There's so many incidents that happen. It's like, come on, man, like give her a chance. Yeah, it's just sad that she had to go through it, but I mean, good for her. She's still going to counseling and trying to just live life, and she seems a lot happier.
I would try and be as succinct as possible with this. Quick little side note, because you started off talking about MMA Junkie. I kind of giggled when you mentioned it, not because I was laughing at the situation, but because MMA Junkie has this reputation, and fairly so, that they're like UFC shills, because it's documented that the UFC paid USA Today, MMA Junkie's parent company, to have them at their events early on, and that's kind of always been the deal to one extent or another, regardless of whether that's happening now or not. That's the history, so there's always been a fishy story there. But isn't it funny that yeah, she went to Ariel and he said no? I wonder why. It's not like he's in bed with UFC or anything like that, but well, and Joe Rogan too. I like Joe, but still, obviously there's a connection there. But anyway, besides all that, moving to the actual topic at hand, I like that you brought up the thing of people being skeptical of women in these situations and rape situations, that they may don't believe them. It's not a good thing for sure. And I'm not mad at people that are skeptical, because you're right. As you said, there are people who have lied about things like that. And that's very unfortunate. And I love that most people that hear about things like that, their reaction is always disgust at someone that would lie about something like that. What bothers me is that it's way less so. It seems like it's less when you bring up allegations like this, and it's immediate skepticism and not so much disgust. Like it feels like for some people it's one or the other. You have to be skeptical or you have to be disgusted, and it can't be both. Like there's black and white. There's shades of gray and everything, as we all know. But I'm like I said, I'm not mad at people who don't immediately believe everything. In this case, I don't know how at that point you're just lying to yourself with this case in particular. And it's sad that, like you said, it's sad that Danielle had to go through so many hoops. She dotted her I's and crossed her T's, and good for her. I'm glad that she was thoughtful of every single thing she said and did. But she had to do it because she knew up front, and she didn't say it so bluntly, but she kind of alluded to, she knows how fans are. She knows how the UFC is. So she tried to make this airtight. She was almost preparing this as she was a fucking lawyer. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, she still doesn't want him to get in trouble. Not because she loves him. I'm fully convinced that she doesn't. I believe her when she says everything she said. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's like his life is his life now, but I don't want anyone else to get hurt from it. So I'll say my story. I will say this though, to the people that are always skeptical about this type of shit, and that's their go-to, and the people that more so the people that are always like, oh, why didn't she leave after such incident, this and that. Is it just me, Irene, or does it seem like the people that say shit like that have never gone through things like that?
Yeah, they've never gone through
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I know it wasn't just a feeling, but I figured I'd ask you because I knew it couldn't have been just me. I've alluded to it, and I won't go into detail because I don't feel it's anybody's business other than people I want to tell. But as someone who's lived in a similar situation, I've heard many stories from many people and have seen it firsthand. And there's certain check boxes that I have. If there was any kind of skepticism, if I really want to be all the way fair with it, Danielle checks every single box with bold-faced Sharpie marker. There's nothing of her story that sounds suspicious or wrong to me or made up. And even if, there's concrete proof one day that this is exactly how it happened and something was off, it might be because her memory was off because she got beat the fuck up and she was scared for her life, and details may get fucked up here and there. But I believe her in what she says. It's frightening, it's disgusting, it's horrifying, and at the end of the day, we know that nothing's gonna happen to Mike Perry. And I'm almost saying this as a thing, not that I know it for a fact or I want to have it, just that as of right now, yeah, it looks like nothing's gonna happen to him. Hopefully, these type of attitudes will get the UFC to realize that something actually needs to be done. Dana's gone on record and said the one thing you don't come back from is hitting a woman, and yet literally dozens of fighters have been in his roster who have hit women and threatened them. I mean, Thiago Silva fucking put a gun in his wife's mouth, and he was still on the roster for a bit after that. He ended up getting cut for something I think not even pertaining to that. So this has obviously been a long-standing issue with MMA, but if you don't want to take anyone's word for it, I will say just stop with the why didn't she leave type shit, because you can't trust those people because they never seem to go through it, and they seem like to not listen to people's actual stories, and that's what pisses me off with that attitude. Is that like, don't you get it with the whole why didn't they go to the cops, why didn't they leave, why didn't all this type of shit? It's like there's reasons for it. And there's numerous ones, but they always come back to the same things. Like, just take their word for it at that. And good on her. The one thing I am most proud of her for, I cheer her courage for just saying it. But the fact that people that were going on about, oh, she's just trying to promote this and this, and she's trying to get ahead and to ruin Mike and this and that. The only thing she ended up promoting in this shit was this the virtual counseling. I forget what the name of it was. She mentioned it on the interview, but yeah, there's a counseling you can do online. And she was talking about, yeah, you mentioned it too, that she's been doing it for a while now. That was the only thing where she's like, if you guys want to get help, I highly recommend that. Pretty sure she's not getting paid off that. If you want to go that way about it, and she did it off for that, I can't help you. But she did not, she took herself out of it as far as any gain that she can get out of it. She did this for the greater good. If you don't want to believe her, if you're skeptical, you're just an asshole or an idiot. You really are.
Yeah, you're just a fucking asshole. Like, I mean, because she could have just, as soon as shit happened, like, she could have just said all kinds of shit. And as soon as, Tori was in Mike Perry's corner, she could have said all kinds of shit if she was mad or a vindictive, female, right? She could have stirred up all kinds of crap, but she didn't. She was done with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
She filed for divorce. She got out. She got her shit straight. He didn't. That's another pattern here.
And he's the one in the public. The only people that know Danielle is people that know her on IG. Yeah. She's not a celebrity. I mean, Mike is in an extent. He's an athlete.
Mm-hmm. And he didn't get his shit together. He went from Danielle to another gal, and now they are pregnant. They're gonna have a child. So she's doing what she needs to do. She's growing. She's getting help. When are we gonna hold him accountable? No one's holding him accountable. We're just blaming her.
Yeah. You know what? At the very least, I think there is a chance. Not saying this is just my feeling. I'm not saying that what she's saying isn't true, or she did it for so and so reasons. We don't know her reasons. I mean, there's a million reasons, or they can be just one reason. But I do think, although I don't think she cares necessarily all that much about the Tori, I do think there is a part of her where, like, clearly that video came up of him hitting the old man, him being drunk, talking shit, and acting a fool in public. I've seen this before. I don't want this girl to end up the same way. And I think especially now that she's pregnant, it's like, I hope none of this ever happens to her. I hope that was the end of it with Mike and his shit at the bar and hitting the old man. And I definitely don't want anything bad for her or shit, even for him. I hope that's the end of it. I highly doubt that's the case, but I hope the Tori, I know she's young, but I hope she gets her shit together. And having this kid will kick her in the ass to be like, okay, don't ignore the red flags. The shit's already there. If you're gonna be with them, all right. But the minute any fucking thing goes south, you bail because all the evidence has been there in front of you. You have a girl was in the exact same situation as you that told you straight up, and you have a kid to protect now. So you got to take care of your own. You got to do what you got to do. I hope if anything bad does happen again, that's the good that'll come out of it. Is that her story's out there. I know Lattori will hear it at some point, and that will kick her in the ass to be like, okay, do not fuck around. Not once you have a kid.
We hope, right? That's all.
Definitely hope. Yep,
do.
that's all we can do. Exactly.
But the pattern's there, folks. We'll see what happens when that baby's born. Some people change, man. As soon as another person is in the picture, another human being, little human being, people step up. Other people, they don't. And another thing, like she brought up, like, trauma and monitoring their brain, and because this is still new, and hopefully that happens too. I wasn't even thinking about that. They've talked about like NFL guys playing football, and they've had some issues, and brain it's being donated for testing and whatever, research, but this sport is still new. Yeah, that might be something that they need to look into as well. I mean, especially with the UFC being, the leader of the fight game and just having all this money, maybe that's what they should really research as well and take care of their guys.
The only guy we've really have any kind of concrete evidence on in MMA has been Jordan Parsons, I believe, the young kid from Bellator that died a few years ago.
That's
Remember,
right.
he had signs of CT and he was like 24. He only had like 8 fights or something.
Yep.
So obviously the signs are there. If we're gonna extrapolate that, the signs are. It's not good what can come out of this, but you're right. Having it all go well. Hopefully this changes Mike too of actually having a kid, and this will change his life around. But if it doesn't, fuck him, and hopefully this kicks Lattori in gear, and she'll do her thing. And I will say something too that I know she framed it sort of as a mental health TBI issue with Perry. But something that I've seen. The thing that she said with him saying that he's going to kill himself. I know he was saying this because he lost to Jeff Neal and he wasn't in his right mind. That's obviously a thing that happens with traumatic brain trauma and all that. But it is also something that I have heard many times and have seen with domestic abusers that is a go-to with them. That is a go-to to gaslight and make the victim feel guilty that they've threatened to kill themselves if they go to the cops or they do anything to hurt them. That is something they will do. So she does have a point. It may be brain health related, but it's also a thing that people in that situation do. So I'll give Perry less credit than that. Concerning, yes, but it's also something that happens in that situation. So that's all I'll say for that. And I know that's grim, but we're going to get more grim shit on the table. So let's just jump into it because we can be here all night with this shit. Someone wrote to Deanna Bennett. I guess she fought recently. I had missed her fight. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of Deanna Bennett. She's always really annoyed me. But this is just unacceptable. Someone told her to go home and die on IG. And I know fighters get shit all the time on social media and they get really fucked up shit by, can't even call them fans. They're just disgusting people. She didn't make weight. This has been a thing with Deanna Bennett. There's been a handful of times where she hasn't made weight. So I don't know if this guy was just a gigantic fan of the other person or just really hated Bennett. But yeah, I told her to go home and die. She didn't make weight. She just give all her purse to the fighter and then kept on harassing her in DMs and even made another account with her picture of her losing and naming it something like go home fatty or something like that. It's ridiculous the amount of harassment she went through. And when I first read the story, I was like, this has been a thing online with Twitter and Facebook on the political side of like censorship and shit. And I realized I thought it was gonna be something like that, and then I realized like, oh, people really go out of their way to be extra shitty to people, and that's something I really can't understand. Did you catch this, Rain?
Yeah, I did. It's really sad. Like this guy was just like, or gal, whoever it is, just kept on going at it and going at it, like, harassing her. I mean, damn, dude, you must not have a job or something. What the fuck, man?
Well, clearly no. Yeah, I mean,
Jesus.
when I first read the headlines, like, not that you should not be hurt or offended by someone saying "go home and die," but I guess if you take it at face value, I was like, well, if they don't threaten to kill you, then how serious can it be? You know, if someone actually threatens like I'm gonna kill you, then yeah, you should definitely report and probably be a little fearful. But yeah, the go home and die and then making a second account and then just constant DMing, like, holy shit, man. Like, I know it's indicative of what a big loser this person is, but like, yeah, I totally get why I fucked with her to just be like, you haven't stopped, bro? Like, you're again
Right?
continue?
Right?
Like, fuck, dude. Like, yeah, I consider myself to have thick skin, but yeah, this would definitely get to me too. It's like, fuck, man, and then yeah, it's even worse because she's a woman. It's like I don't know, I don't think Tony Ferguson is gonna be getting shit like this 24/7 as seemingly Deanna Bennett did.
Yeah. I don't see that happening. Yeah, this person was just out of his mind, out of her mind, whoever it is, and I mean to go through all that trouble of like creating accounts here and there and
Yeah.
going after, like, come on.
Shit, Colby Covington may not get this level of hate, and
I
I'm
doubt
not even
it, man.
joking here. I'm serious.
Yeah, I doubt it, right? And like that, I think he would have said something by now, wouldn't he?
The leftist media is telling me to go kill myself.
Right? So like, I think he would have mentioned it.
They're showing me pictures of black babies. It's really offensive.
Oh my god. Yeah, well, yeah, it sucks she didn't make weight. You know how I feel about fighters that don't make weight.
Shit,
Oh,
they sent your ass on a
fuck yeah, man.
journey of self discovery. You went out into the forest and shit. You might as well have.
Oh my god, but yeah, I'm not over here like going crazy on social media, harassing somebody, someone you'll never meet, someone you'll never like step up to. That's for sure.
As much as you hate Holly Holm, you're not gonna make a secondary account hating her.
Fuck no, man. I ain't got time for that.
And if you
Yeah.
did, I'd be there right there taking it all down and reporting your ass. Best friends forever bullshit.
Huh.
Not with
I,
Holly.
I got you. I got your back. The beaner got your back.
Just white knighting for
Yep.
her. White knighting for the white woman.
I'm waiting for you. I'll fuck you anytime.
Oh my god! Even in I think it was just too much drama right in the past 10 minutes talking about both of these things, and we're gonna get more into this because this still hasn't
Jeez,
ended.
man.
There's one more really
Crazy ass.
possibly the most fucked up of all these stories,
Yeah.
believe it or not. Former UFC fighter Zalim Imadev. I cannot remember who this guy was. I don't think I've ever seen him fight. He's been cut now. He's no longer in the UFC, but he praised the Chechen teen who beheaded a French teacher. If you guys didn't keep up to this, I think it's probably been like a week now. There was a teacher who was beheaded in France. Apparently, he had done something to offend Islam by drawing or having some kind of picture or something of Muhammad, which is a big no-no. This has been a thing for years now. Charlie Hebdo, the shooting over there. It's shit. Even South Park kowtowed to this because of how serious it was. Teacher got beheaded of this, and yeah, there's a Chechnyan fighter, Salim Imadeyev, who praised him and said this is like He called him a martyr and thanks for the jihad. And he another comment that as disturbing as that was, maybe this is just me and my sensitive ass American sensibilities. He said like one step closer to ending uh freedom of speech or something like that. Like fuck, dude. Like clearly that dude is all in. He is all in with the jihad, man. There's no two ways about it. I mean, you forget that these people are still out there. I know that you should not hate all Muslims. If you think that all Muslims are like this, you're very ignorant. But the fact remains, there are still Muslims like this.
Yeah, I guess that kid, he was only, what, 18 years old?
Jesus Christ.
And he did that, and he, like, posted it on his Twitter account or something?
Yeah, I didn't even read all the details because I'm not cool with that shit, man. I'm really not. Like, it sickens me. Just like even reading little things like kind of bugged me. I definitely didn't want to see shit like that and dig too deep into it. But yeah,
Crazy, man. I'm glad it didn't come across my timeline or anything.
yeah, man, it's fucking wild. And then again too, I feel like especially as of now, just to get a little real too, like I think especially because of Trump and the political climate here, I think people like feel because he talked so much shit about radical Islam and ISIS that people think that it was over, especially like al-Baghdadi when he got killed and shit. It was like, oh, ISIS is done and Islamic terrorism is like it's a thing of the past. It's like, nah, man, it's still going on. It's still going on, and yeah, it's just maybe it's not happening in America, so we don't think about it. But fuck, man, this shit is happening, and they're supporters of it. That's the wild thing. We're so caught up here with right wing extremists and Antifa and white supremacists and all this shit. It's like, shit, man. They're not beheading people. Nor Antifa nor white supremacists are not beheading people here.
Yeah,
There's people getting beheaded over there. Say what you want, man. I I do not take sides with anybody here in the States. I feel like everyone's fucking crazy, but I can definitely be against fucking Islamic terrorists, man. Yeah, nah, man. Nope.
yeah. They're a bigger fucking
Yeah, they're a bigger worry.
yeah, they got some real shit going on. Like we're fighting each other for no fucking reason. Masks and shit. We should be fighting the establishment.
Armenia still got their shit going on. No one's paying attention to that.
Right? Proud Boys like losing their fucking hashtags and yeah, what we got going on, it's nothing like in comparison. I mean, we have a lot of problems, don't get me wrong. Like there's going to be people, that are going to be homeless here pretty soon. They can't make rent, pay their mortgage, things like that. But geez, man, at least we can speak, right? We can speak up. We have opinions. That's why we're here, right?
Well, that's why we're recording this right now. Can you imagine this? In so many countries, how much shit would have gotten censored already?
Yeah.
And that's us censoring ourselves sometimes because you don't want to hear us off air, people. Your fucking ears will bleed.
For real, our DMs.
Yeah, but I guess if there's any silver lining in this, just be grateful you live where you do live.
Right.
Because France is supposed to be a Western nation with democracy and it's not supposed to be that much different from America. But the thing is, the crazy countries with the Islamic terrorists are right next door to them. Meanwhile, we're over here fear mongering about fucking Mexico. People trying to get over the border is as big a threat as Islamic terrorists to some people, apparently. Keep your priorities in order, people. Anyway, so the PFL has announced that they're kicking off their next season on April 23rd of next year on ESPN as they've done before. So the reason I just want to bring this up is I wonder what's going to happen now, or I wonder if this happened because of the lawsuit with Lance Palmer and Kayla Harrison.
I know what's going to happen with that because they have a whole lineup now. They have an entire schedule.
It's 6 months away, and it's a long time, but it still seems reasonable. It's not 3 years away.
Yeah, and it's 6 months to give them time to prepare for this.
And we think COVID should be over, possibly, maybe.
Kind of,
yeah.
We'll see. I mean, the big threat's supposed to be coming, but we'll see. No cold season or whatever, flu season.
Exactly. We all just gotta wait and see. And this at that point it'll be the spring, so maybe
Hmm.
shit'll really chill out by now. You and I have talked about before. I mean, not to say this herd immunity and vaccines and all. I'm not to get into it, but just to be realistic, sometimes with viruses and pandemics, sometimes they just go away. That is a thing that happens. We're 6 months into this shit, 10 months into it, whatever, and we still don't really seem to know shit.
Nope. Nope.
So by next year, you don't know. We may, with the vaccine and all that, that may not even be the thing that happens. This shit could just go away. It
Yeah.
has happened before. Yeah, just interesting. I found that I was like, okay, is this because of lawsuits or is this just because they finally pulled the trigger? Either way, interesting, and I'm gonna be keeping up to date with that with the whole Lance Palmer thing because I want to know how that goes. Last bit of headlines / kind of matchups. Rafael dos Anjos and Islam Makhachev has been rescheduled for November 14th in a fight in Las Vegas. Thought they were still going to be at Fight Island, but I think they're going to get out of there soon. Actually, am I tripping? Is this the last fight? UFC 254. Is this the last Fight Island fight?
I think so.
Right? Because I think it was like from the last pay per view to this one. I think that was like the schedule, like 6 cards or something.
Yeah. That would make sense to go out with the bang with this one, right?
For sure. Yeah. And then with Khabib and all that. Yeah. Probably why they changed the time too, right? It's like, all right, we don't have to deal with this shit anymore.
Yeah, possibly.
We'll know next week when we look at that card. But anyway, the Science Makhachev fight that a lot of people were excited for, us too. And the Science had gotten COVID, which is why it's not happening this weekend. So November 14th, a little less than a month away. Sounds reasonable. Hopefully Dos Anjos is healthy and this fight can go off without a hitch.
Yeah, he's back in America and not in Brazil.
Is he officially back or are you just hoping?
I hope. I hope he's back here. Just go to the PI and like lay low.
Fuck. I mean, he's trained with Cordell before too, right?
Yeah.
He should bring him back. Get him to fucking get Kelvin Gastelum in shape again. Maybe that's what he needs.
Go to the PI, eat healthy. It's free food.
All right, that does it for headlines. Let's get into some matchups. First up, it's a report, so this / kind of rumor. Jose Aldo looks to be possibly fighting Marlon Vera on November 21st, which is the UFC 255 event. I don't even know what that means. Oh my god.
He makes me smile. Dude, if this
But
really
I guess
happened,
Aldo, come on, man. I mean, you were sad when Jan beat the shit out of him. Now Vera?
wow, this is a step up, huge step up.
Or is it just gonna be cool because it's Vera and you like him?
Yeah, because it's Vera.
Damn. You don't give no kind of fucks about the veterans.
I mean, he verbally agreed to it, so hey, man.
I need to watch a Marlon Vera fight. Man, maybe when this shit's over, whenever Chito fights, that's probably the fight that we got to go to, especially if it's in Cali. Maybe that's what we got to do.
A Cheeto fight when things are normal, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, hell yeah.
I'm
Especially
down.
if it's in SoCal, hell yeah.
SoCal, not NorCal.
No, I'll go down
actually,
there.
that would make sense, right? Because he's from here.
Yeah.
Basically.
And we'll go to like Perillo's gym, the RVCA gym. We'll go visit.
Sure. You have the hookups. I don't. So you let me know.
Like, hey.
I'll leave the room. It's okay.
I'm your stalker.
See no evil, speak no evil. I got you.
He's married. God damn it.
Another great fight. Angela Hill is going to fight Tisha Torres. A rematch. What? 5 years in the making?
Yeah, right? Yeah, it is 5 years.
Too much too soon for Angie back then. But now it seems just perfect.
Dude, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, like...
Shit. Tisha might get her ass beat.
Maybe. She looked really good against Brianna Van Buren. She looked really, really good. but Brianna Van Buren is still a baby, and Angela
Yeah.
Hill is still possibly on a what 4-fight winning streak.
Yes.
Has she gotten two of those decisions? So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. I think that's
It,
all I can say about that one because
yeah.
yeah, I'm just psyched. Marlon Moraes is coming back very soon. Well, December, but I mean he just got knocked out 2 weeks ago, so he'll be coming back in like 2 months to fight Rob Font on a event on December 19th. I know the knockout of Sanhagen wasn't the most devastating thing ever, possibly a little premature, but still he did get wheel kicked in the fucking head.
For
I don't know
real.
about this one.
I know, right? But good for Rob for finally getting a fight. But damn, is this a gift
had he not been
to Rob?
able had he not been able to get a fight, I don't even remember the last time he fought.
Almost a year ago, I think, because he had like ACL issues.
Oh,
He had ACL surgery or something.
oh damn. Okay.
It's been a while.
Damn, that's big.
I think it was the November timeframe. Oh yeah, it's almost a year. Yeah, that he'll be out. It'll be over a year then, because if it's December. Yep. So, but yeah, is this a gift to Rob though? Because I mean, he got wheel kicked, man. Marlon got wheel kicked. Say what you
I don't,
want. That's to the dome.
yeah, well, Fawn again, I didn't even know he hadn't fought in a while, so if he's rusty and Moraes is probably not all there mentally, maybe it's a wash, you know? One has
Maybe.
possible brain health issues and the other one is physical rust issues. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe it's just a wash. But it should be fun. Rob Font's always been fun. Moraes is definitely going to want to get back on the winning streak, and he can be spectacular when he wants. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, he December 19th. Yeah, December 2019. The last time he
So it's
fought
going to
was
be a year.
Ricky Simone.
Ah, okay. I think I kind of remember that fight now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely psyched for this one though. And women's MMA news: Joanne Calderwood's going to fight Jessica Ai on an event on January 23rd. So,
Whoop her ass. Come on, JoJo.
oh man,
Jessica is not gonna make weight anyway, so what does it matter?
it's been twice in a row, right?
Yeah, I think it's twice. It's just happened too many times, especially while she's talking shit too. So remember she had that beef with
Yeah,
Sujaro?
yeah,
Yeah,
I know. And look at Sajara
Sujara.
now. Well,
Yeah,
she went up. That's the thing. And shit, I guess I should go up now too, right? But maybe they can. She actually should make that fight now with Sajara. I think Sajara would whoop her ass. But
dude.
yeah, JoJo. I mean, she just lost to Maya. Jessica lost to Calvillo. I'm definitely interested in this one. Could be
Same.
fun. Could be fun.
Shake up.
The two former contenders until they fucked it all up.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. And then Jessica just might be out the door, possibly. But then again, that division is thin anyway, so. Because this was like her comeback, because she was almost out the door at bantamweight. She should have been. For somehow she kept her
Oh
job
yeah,
though.
because yeah, she was like right there. Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Yep, and then she just dropped weight and finally in the right weight class, and she looked good for a little, hot minute there, and she's on, this losing streak, well, possible losing streak if she loses to JoJo.
Got a title shot. I mean,
Yeah, and then it's been rough too with the weight issues too, and
that's the thing. She's not getting younger.
you know,
She went down possibly at the worst time in her life.
yeah.
But we'll see. Still gotta wait for the new year for that one. We'll see what happens. So enough of MMA. Let's get into the news story of the week. Headline is 500-pound body causes fire at Henrico Crematory. I believe I'm pronouncing that right, Henrico. In Virginia. So it was a crematorium, and they were burning bodies as they do in crematoriums. And they had a very obese man who weighed around 500 pounds. Apparently, according to this article, this is not uncommon. When you have really overweight people, it can cause issues. And in case you guys didn't know, fat is flammable. and they're burning fat. They're burning everything. So it basically kind of quite literally becomes like a grease fire. Shit gets unstable, shit gets on the walls, on the roof, and this place set on fire. Luckily, it looks like nobody was hurt. There was like 3 people working in there. They got out. Fire department was called and it was handled in like half an hour. So aside from the damage to the building, nobody was hurt. But yeah, I, that's not a good thing. It's no secret why this person passed away. Not to be a dick, but clearly it was a very big person. But you burned a building down, just trying to get rid of you, man. What does that say about your spirit? You know?
Oh, you're laughing. I'm sorry. I'm like confused as to like what this facility like looks like because yeah, he's not an average man, average sized person. So did they have to like use a different room to where it's like all open and there's just like shit just gets splattered everywhere that can cause a fire like
Right,
that?
like what's the capacity on those tables or furnaces or whatever they're using, right? I don't know anything about a crematory. I don't know what the process is, but
Yeah.
it doesn't sound like they were equipped for this, clearly.
No, and it happens all around the nation. So I'm like, what kind of fucking facilities are you guys using?
We're America. We're fat. We step your game up, man.
I'm like I thought. I mean, I thought you get wheeled into this like little structure that's all enclosed, and they just wheel you in, and then they just turn the gas on and ignite it. I thought that's what happens. It's not in an open area where like, oh yeah, we can get shit on the roof and it could just start a fire. Like that doesn't make sense to me.
Shit, were they like? Did they have to use like a forklift to put the fucking body on the thing?
That's
I
another
really,
thing. Yeah.
I'm really not trying to be a dick here, but when you think about the logistics of it, these questions come to mind.
What? Right. So this is a 500-pound body. Is this like 500 pounds after he passed away? Because don't they get heavier or no? Like I have all these questions.
No, I mean dead weight is a thing, but no,
Okay.
I think I literally think you lose weight when you die.
Oh, because you're
I mean
like letting go of a lot of
I
fluids and
yeah
things like
think
that.
so. Yeah, I mean it might be like a couple ounces, a couple pounds, but I think you do lose a bit of weight. But still, obviously,
Jesus.
it's not. I don't think it'd be noticeable in this situation.
Jesus, still like that's a huge person. 500 pounds.
It was a crazy story. I mean, obviously, why we put it, that's what we do with the headlines. But when I started reading the details, I wasn't all that surprised because I know about Genghis Khan, and if you ever had any doubts about what he'd done, clearly he was ahead of the game because if you guys don't know, Genghis Khan, um, the Mongolian emperor, he was a ruthless killer, savage, if you guys didn't know that. And one of the tactics he would use, because he killed so many people, he was definitely a no prisoners kind of guy. He loved killing people. He would collect bodies and he would harness the fat of the bodies. And when he would come to villages to take them over, they would get catapults, and instead of getting like big stones or cannons or anything like that, they would put fat on these cannons, human fat, and throw them, chuck them at the roofs of the villages, and then they would get their arrows with the fire tipped arrows, and they would launch them at the roofs, and they would catch fire. I mean, sometimes even cause explosions because fat is
Damn.
that flammable. Yeah. So it's basically they're throwing Molotov cocktails at people's houses with fat and fire tipped arrows.
Damn, he's so advanced.
Kind of, yeah. I know. I know people talk about Genghis Khan of the Silk Road and he brought in Europe and Asia, and I know he was a ruthless killer, but even in that, yeah, he accidentally found some shit out. Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea. I was so surprised. I learned something new.
Yeah. Another thing with Genghis Khan too, that he was a mass rapist. There's a reason why there's so many people in Asia named Khan. I think like at the time he had like 5% of the population that him and his sons had like the amount of women that they had raped. So
God damn.
yeah, that's something else with that's why anytime I hear people with the name Khan, like I never thought about anything before, and now I'm just like, damn, that is a long history. Like you made it. You made it all the way to 2020. That's fucking wild, man. You're still here. Can't get rid of them. There's no Hitlers. There's no offsprings of Hitler that I know of. Maybe that most people don't know of, but they're still offspring of Genghis Khan.
They probably changed their name though if it was Hitler, right?
Yeah, right. Like you never, there's so many other evil people. There's a bunch of Escobars and Husseins and Kim Jong, Uns and all that shit. But there's only one Hitler.
Yeah. Even Bin Laden's niece was on.
Oh my God, that fucking girl. That shit's wild, right?
Yes.
Firework just went off. Huh, I'm talking about Bin Laden. A fucking firework goes off right in front of my house.
Oh shit, son. Getting bombed.
I can only laugh it off now because it's 2020. But yeah, if you guys don't know, Osama Bin Laden's niece gets more hate for being a Trump supporter than being Osama Bin Laden's niece.
That's some shit, man. What is wrong with us?
It's just the fact that she was a Trump supporter to begin with. It's like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, thank God she's not trying to blow buildings up, but fucking Christ. And one time, this is the one time where I'm like, you know what? Thank God you're a Trump supporter.
Yeah.
Because of what else you could have been, you go right ahead, girl. You do what you want.
True. It was so crazy though. It's like, do you really want that endorsement?
Right? And like people on the right have been like, well, Bin Laden's niece is like, why are you even talking about that? I'm going that shit like the plague, but
what the fuck? I don't understand what's going on in 2020, man. Like
you go so hard to own the libs that you take the Bin Laden endorsement.
Oh my God. Crazy shit. All kinds of shit happening.
But shit, man. At the end of the day, she may just support Trump because he hates Obama and Obama killed her fucking uncle, man.
That's true.
Shit, you got to think about 3D chess. People always talking about 3D chess with Trump. Think about it with this chick too, man.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, she is a female, so they gotta think strategically, and she got that Bin Laden blood. So
say what you want about Bin Laden, he was not a dumb man.
No.
Yep. Fucking Christ, man. We went from Hitler to Bin Laden, Genghis Khan, fucking beheadings. Jesus Christ, this is a heavy episode, but I really hope you guys get at least one laugh out of it. You guys laugh at anything in this show. I am very grateful for it. But thank you guys for joining us after a week off. Hope we're back in gear. Hope we're back to normal, whatever that is. And we'll be seeing you guys soon. But you can catch me on Twitter and Instagram at Juice_MMA. Rain?
Fox with you on Instagram and Twitter.
And you could follow the podcast at iFoxWithJuice, also on Twitter and Instagram. We're everywhere podcasts are: Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, now All the Belts, the All the Belts app. You can check that out too. Keep it locked. We'll be here next week. We'll see what shenanigans happens, and hopefully less terrorist talk next week. Thank you guys for joining us, though. Later.
See ya.